Hi, it's John Cronshaw here with my author diary for the week ending October the 20th, 2024. I've had a busy week. Last weekend I went to Fantasycon, so that started last Friday. Had a really good time. It was just loads of cool people there. Got to chat to lots of writers and readers. Did 4 panels, so I did one that was on the Rogue, which I really enjoyed. There was one on Grimdark. There was one on disability and one on post-apocalyptic fiction. Now I started off writing post-apocalyptic fiction, and I still have a soft spot for it. Have to admit. So that was cool doing that panel. Made me think. Oh, I've got a story that I didn't finish. A wasteland story, a novella thing. So I might dig that out, take a look at it, see what I did, what I've got. I don't know, might come to nothing, but just kind of reminded why I wrote that series and why I enjoyed writing that series. So that could be cool if I revisit that. I mean it was tiring. I think what was it? The first thing was at 4 p.m. No, it started at 3 p.m. My first panel was at 4 p.m. on the Friday, and then there was a panel at 8 till 9, which is, I'm getting ready for bed at that time. And then there was stuff the next day, all day, and then the banquet, and then fantasy awards. And then the day after that, it was like, had 2 panels again, and my wife had a panel. So my wife, she's an editor, so she was actually on the editing panel representing the indies. And I really enjoyed that, and I would recommend looking up on YouTube. It's called Demystifying the Editing Process, and it's on the British Fantasy Society's YouTube channel. Check that out, because I think she came across great. I would say that because obviously I love my wife, but I thought she did really well, and it was good that there was someone there to represent indie authors, with the titans of what would you call it, corporate traditional publishing, that kind of thing. Really good, really good. I think one thing that was interesting was just, I suppose, reinforcing to me the fact that I am an indie author and I want to stay an indie author, and the whole thing of getting an agent and working with a corporate publisher just seems like an absolute faff and a nightmare. So no, can't be bothered at the end of the day. So that's that anyway. Though I say that, and I've just signed a contract for a what is it? An Italian translation of the Dawn of Assassin series. So I'm just going to get that checked with the Alliance of Independent Authors. But if everything's cool, then I will be going ahead with getting some translations done by a company in Italy. So that's pretty cool. In terms of writing, I thought this week, after FantasyCon, I would be battered. But I've actually been really productive. I've done loads this week. So on the Monday, I didn't want to do anything to do with any big projects, so I wrote a short story. This is basically a Halloween story featuring Lord Sidebottom, kind of a wacky steampunk short story that I will release on my Patreon for free on Halloween. I also have been working on Forged in Blood, which is Guild of Assassins Book 2. I'm now 80% through that, so I'm at about 48,000 words. My aim with this book is to get to 60,000 words. These are shorter novels than what I usually do, but that is pretty cool. The story's going really well, and very, very much enjoying writing heists and trying to figure out how to do burglaries and things like that. So it's all very kind of action packed, but there's a real kind of deep psychological thing going on with this book. So I'm enjoying kind of delving deeper into Soren's character for sure. So I'm really excited about this book. Actually, I think the more I get into it, the more I'm like, this is working out really well actually. So that is super cool. So in terms of reading, yes, still going. I finished Illuminatus by Robert Shea and Robert Anton Wilson. I think the first book is called The Eye in the Pyramid. This book was insane, absolutely schizophrenic, just the oddest book I've ever read. Like some of it was, I don't even know. It's like, what is it? It's basically if all the conspiracy theories about the Illuminati were true at the same time, even the ones that contradict each other, and throw in hallucinogenics, throw in sex scenes, throw in just, I don't know, there's, talking porpoises and trips to Atlantis and stuff where you don't know whether a person is experiencing the same thing as different people. I don't know. There's just so much going on that is random and weird and unnerving, and I'm not sure whether it's brilliant or a bit pretentious or what. But I kind of enjoyed it. I'm still processing it. I think that's the thing. I've not gone on to the second book that is part of a trilogy. I think I will, but I have turned to some comedy. So I'm listening to Incarcerat by Garth Marenghi, which is kind of parody horror. It's kind of parodying bad 1980s horror. If you've never watched the Garth Marenghi's Dark Place TV series, check that out because it is really funny. So yeah, next week then is the half term for my son. So he's broken up after his first thing at school. He's at high school now, so it's his first half term. So he's actually off for like 12 days, something like that. So it's a longer half term than he had in primary school. It's basically a week and 3 days. So I'll just need to see how I get on. I've got about 12,000 words I want to do for Forged in Blood. So that is basically, if I can get that done next week, that'll be great. If I can't, then I can't. Because obviously, I want to hang out with my son. So, yeah, see how that goes. So until next time, cheerio.